The dogs and I went home to visit my family for Christmas, which means a 2-day road trip from Texas. Unfortunately, Callie's been having some health issues, so it was better for her to stay back, but don't worry, she still had a great time. I typically try to stop at gas stations like Love's, Flying J, or Buc-ee's to get away from people so the dogs can stretch their legs without any interference. It's so convenient to feed them Sundays while we're on the road because handling raw food and trying to keep it refrigerated during a road trip is kind of a hassle. As you can tell, the dogs really love it, but I love that it's a high quality food, convenient to feed, that doesn't cause stomach upset when they're used to eating raw food. And yes, they're eating out of the top of my Chipotle bowl. I eat Chipotle for lunch and dinner on both days of travel and never get tired of it. After 12, 13 hours of driving, we finally make it to the hotel and settle in for the night. We've done this trip so many times that my dogs are super well behaved in hotels and go right to sleep. I feed them breakfast right when we wake up before I take them outside so that I can finish packing and get everything ready to load them into the car. It just makes it so much easier for me so that way they can all do their bathroom break at once and then get on the road. When I first started doing these road trips, I would stop like 5 to 7 times a day to let the dogs out because I thought they'd be stir crazy. But now it's about 2 to 3 times, one to play fetch, the others for quick potty breaks. And they really don't know a difference. It's been really good for them and they actually just get such a better sleep. By this point, we were still about 4 hours away from home, so I stopped for some Chipotle, which means the dogs are gonna eat too. Also, I appreciate Sunday's jerky-like texture because it really doesn't make a mess in my car. Then we finally made it to Pennsylvania where there was snow, so the dogs ran around for a while and then we went to bed. We had snow most of the week, which was so beautiful and the dogs had such a great time. And Callie was getting spoiled having breakfast in bed. Plus, I love the snow because that means pretty much no mud on the dogs. They get so much exercise when they're in Pennsylvania, so they slept all day while I'd go hang out with friends, family, and go to different Christmas parties. And Callie was enjoying her time at home getting one-on-one special treatment. I love my family so much, and even though Texas is a 2-day drive, it's so worth it to come home to see everyone and include the dogs. Christmas morning was so special, opening presents and hanging out, and Teddy came over to hang out with Jack and open their individual little presents. And clean up leftovers, of course. And Callie was getting extra special treats as well. The week was so busy that it flew by, and pretty soon we were getting ready to pack up the car and go back to Texas. People are always like, oh my gosh, you're so crazy for doing this road trip, but I find so much peace in driving by myself, not to mention I love catching up on Crime Junkie episodes. And it's such a unique and special experience to do this with my dogs. If you're wanting to start doing road trips with your dogs, but you're intimidated, especially if you have multiple dogs, the biggest piece of advice I can give you is to just take your time and don't stress. The first time I ever did this with just Max and Teddy was so tiring for me. I felt very overwhelmed, and now I feel like I handle it like a pro. Everything becomes a learning lesson, and the only way to get better at it is to do more road trips. And I don't find it boring because I experienced so many different things that I would have never seen on a plane. Then we finally got home. Callie was so excited. I missed her so much, and now it's back to our normal routine.